Hello, and welcome to Communication Part 2. Love Recon is happy to bring you this series on communication so that you can learn how to communicate more clearly, so that you can reach an understanding more quickly, and so that your whole relationship will run smoother. My name is Cliff Poe. I am a master life coach with Love Recon. This is my wife, Jeannie Poe. She's also a master life coach. And I'll let our other speaker introduce herself at this time.
Hi, my name is Angie Kraft, and I'm a Master Life Coach with Love Recon and located in Atlanta, Georgia.
All right, Angie, we forgot to say we're in Texas. So we do have coaches in Dallas, in Atlanta, and here in Houston. However, we can coach you from wherever we are, of course, since we can do that online now. Last week in our Part 1, we talked about dyads, and we'll have you do a dyad in just a few moments, and we'll show you what that's about. We talked about reflective listening, sometimes called mirroring, and that is where you repeat back what you've heard and you make sure that you're clear on that, and you put everything aside and you listen intently to the speaker. And then we also talked about affirming our nurturing talk and how to do that for each other every day. Again, I encourage you to go back and look at that more fully, because those are basic foundations for any communication, just about any time. Tonight, our topic is one that I enjoy a lot. It's called emotion versus logic.
Do you ever feel like you and your mate are speaking two totally different languages? Well, it's usually because you are. A lot of times one person is coming from a more logical language and the other mate is using a more emotional language. It causes a lot of misfires in the relationship when it comes to expressing yourself and addressing issues, especially on those hot topics. So I have a question for you guys. Which one's more important in communication? Logic or emotion? Think about it. A lot of times, some people will say, well, logic, you can't make financial decisions unless you bring some logic into it. However, it comes to expressing your hurt and your pain, you can't use a lot of logic. You need to be in touch with the emotional side of things. Logic has been called the language of the conscious mind, whereas emotion has been called the language of the unconscious mind. Think about that. Emotions are our reactions to the way we perceive things, how we imagine, and they're really not based on logic or fact. They're solely based on our personal experiences and the way we perceive them. Emotions can often override logic, but logic will never change emotion or perception. So think about that. Your mate's perception is actually their reality. No matter how hard we try to reason our way through an issue or a conflict, you've got to keep in mind what language your mate is speaking.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about emotional language. Looking for affirmation, not necessarily information. There might be a question like this. Hey, we're going out. Does this look okay, or do I look kind of crazy fat in it, or I'm gaining a little bit of weight? How would you answer that question when your spouse, and it could be a guy asking the question, worried about his belly fat?
What if I answered it for you?
Go ahead.
So I'll give you a logical answer.
Okay.
Well, just step on those scales and we'll find out if you got fat or not.
Okay, that was a good logical answer. However, has nothing to do with the emotional question that was being asked, which is looking for information. So be very, very careful how you answer those questions. Is it emotional or logical? Well, the person making the statement lies looking for the affirmation. Yes, they're not looking for information at that point in time. How could you make that better, Cliff, and make it better for us?
Well, I don't know if you've gained weight or not, but you look beautiful to me.
Okay. Gave me affirmation? That was what I was looking for. The answer was not a lie, but it was using the emotional language to connect. A lot of times we disconnect. If one's going logically and the other's going emotionally, this is connecting.
Logical language is looking for information, not affirmation. Much of our communication is logical as well. Questions like, what is the balance in the account? Where did you take the car for service? Which pair of pants should I wear? They all require a logical response. When your mate says something like that, they're looking for information, not affirmation. They want to know how much is in the bank account, for instance, but don't want to know how you feel about it. They just need to know the facts.
So what would emotional look like? Go ahead.
It would not be helpful at all, for instance, in the case of last question, if you were to say oh, you look great in either pair of pants, especially if your mate's trying to make a decision. Give them the facts when they ask for the facts.
Also, your communication and how to receive that is going to be really based on your situation. The situation is going to determine whether you use logic or emotion. So, for example, in the example that Clip and Jeannie uses, if you're talking about, does an outfit look good on me? You're going to look at the situation, because maybe leaving for a party and, hey, do I look good in this outfit? At that point, more than likely looking for affirmation, or if he puts on a jersey that he wore in a softball league last year, he may also be looking for affirmation. But if you're asking the question as well, should I wear the blue shirt or the red shirt? That's more, in that situation, a logical question. What are they looking for? They're really wanting your opinion. Do I wear this color or that color? So just be sure that you're looking at the situation. Now, don't fall into the logic trap. The logic trap is basically emotion disguised as logic. Oh, you're just flattering me. Really, tell me the truth, okay? Be careful, because a lot of times that's just basically looking for that really underlying affirmation. But when in doubt, always affirm. If they persist, be okay with asking the question, okay, honey, do you need affirmation or information? It's okay. Sometimes I have to be very clear in that, hey, this is what I really need at the moment. Or asking your mate, be okay with saying, hey, honey, do you need affirmation and clear logic, or clear logic and a help with a decision? Which one are you looking for? Always, when your answer is not received, then ask the question, go ahead and ask them to clarify.
That's a good one. And let's go over some of the things that we may say as women when we're looking for affirmation. Do I look fat? Are you still attracted to me? I have worked all day trimming the budget. I'm a terrible mom. She's really had a lot of work and she's my age. Thinking about what someone else is, comparing yourself to them, and trying to see what your husband would say about you. Affirming me. I'm looking for affirmation.
Mm-hmm. So if you were looking for affirmation, I would say things like I said earlier, like you look beautiful to me. Are you still attracted to me? I only have eyes for you.
Yeah. He's a poet.
I've worked hard on trimming the budget that I could say, well, thank you. I really appreciate that. And it feels great to have a partner in the finances. I'm a terrible mom? No, you're not a terrible mom. you may feel like a failure at this moment, but everybody does. You're a great mom. I love the way you mother our kids.
Oh, thank you.
She's really had a lot of work done, and she's my age. You look beautiful, and you're so fortunate you have that great skin. I don't want a fake looking plastic woman anyway. Okay. Guys, do you remember when I got the award? We might say something like that, or when I hit the home run or when I won the championship. You may say something like, I'm swamped at work. I'm having to do the work of the guy that they fired plus my work. Or something like, I just don't have time for the gym, when you're feeling insecure about your weight or your physical fitness. Same thing, I'm a terrible dad, when you're wondering if you're a good parent or not. And then my college buddy sure makes a lot more money than me, feeling like maybe, you haven't made it as far as you should have, and needing the affirmation that you're doing a good job. Do you want to give me some feedback on those?
Sure. Do I remember when you got the award? Yeah, and I can remember feeling really proud, sitting there with our kids. They were little at the time, and it was an honor that was bestowed on you. And I felt very proud.
It's a great
Very,
moment.
very proud. It was a great moment. And then also, I know that you're swamped at work, and I know that you get up every day, you either drive into work or you work from home, and you do that because you love us. And that makes me feel secure
Oh, good.
that you have a good work ethic. And I just don't have time for the gym. Well, let's figure out a time where we both can go, and so that we both can enjoy time at the gym. Because I know you probably work harder than I do there. And I'm a terrible dad. No, I don't think there's a dad in the world that compares to you.
Thank you.
My college buddy sure makes a lot more money. What is that? Does your buddy have a great marriage? Does he communicate well with his wife? Or is he married for that matter?
Yeah, very good. All right, so you can kind of see, and you could probably come up with ideas even better than what we did, because you know your mate. So just listen. That's the key, is to listen for that emotional language.
Mm-hmm.
Listen for those feeling words and times when your mate needs affirmation. Pay close attention to these next list of affirmations. We're going to put some affirmations on the screen. I want you to pay close attention to them and pick one that you would like most to hear. Maybe it's you would like to hear it most all the time, or even it's just today that this is something you'd really like to hear. So here are some affirmations. You can do it. I'm proud of you. You are beautiful or handsome. I support you. I appreciate how hard you work. I'm sorry. Let me take you on a date. I want you. There you go. I'm here for you. I value your opinion. You're a good man, or you're a good woman. I understand, or I want to understand, whatever it is that they're having an issue with. Or I respect your need for exercise. I respect your need to have time away. I respect your need for whatever it might be that's a hobby or a healthy habit. Here's that one again. I want you. So pick one for the dyad that we're going to do. Has everybody got one? Go ahead and choose just one. All right. Now get into a dyad.
Remember the rules of your dyad. You want to be facing one another. So even if you're on the couch, just turn towards each other, look your mate in the eye, give them your full attention. And remember, when it's their time to speak, you're just listening. You're not listening to respond, you're listening to understand. So get into your dyad. The first thing we're going to do is we want you to remember your affirmation. You're going to talk about what your default language is. And ladies, we're going to talk with you first. We're going to let you start first. So if your default language is emotion, I feel like I'm coming from an emotional standpoint because I really get in touch with my feelings and I really am able to express my feelings and that's basically explains why you feel like you're an emotional communicator. If you're a logical communicator, you might say, I feel like my default language is logic because I need to find a sense of reason, and that's the because. So ladies, we're going to start with you first. I believe my default language is and because. Go ahead. Stop. Good job. Now, ladies, we're going to stay with you. You're going to answer this question. When I need the affirmation blank. So that affirmation that we talked about that you're looking for. So the affirmation I'm looking for is, I want you to tell me you love me. I want to feel loved. I want to feel beautiful. I do or say blank. If I need the affirmation that I am still attractive to you. A lot of times I will put myself down. So there's an example. Think about the affirmation that you're looking for and what you do or say a lot of times contrary when you're needing those affirmations. Go ahead, ladies. Stop. Good job, ladies. I know that was tough for some of you. Now, gentlemen, give them that affirmation that they said they needed. Look them in the eye, lean in, tell them what they needed to hear. Go ahead. Stop. Good job. Ladies, look at them, tell them thank you, and tell them how it made you feel to receive that affirmation. Go ahead. Good job. Men, it's your turn. I believe that my default language is blank because blank. Go ahead. Stop. Good job. Continuing with the men. When I need the affirmation blank, I do or say blank. So for gentlemen, it might be when I need the affirmation that things are going to be okay. Sometimes I come home and complain about my job. So again, tell your mate the affirmation that you need, and when you need that affirmation, what you typically do or say. Go ahead. Stop. Good job. Ladies, they really put their wall down and showed their heart to you. So give them that affirmation that they really needed. Go ahead. Good job. Gentlemen, look back at your mate, tell them thank you, and tell her how it made you feel to receive that affirmation. Go ahead. All right, Cliff.
All right. Well, we hope that this has been helpful to you. Let's look back and just hit a few of the high points as we conclude. The truth is, we all have a default language. We're either more logical or more emotional, but we are capable of both. And so it's very important that we learn to speak both so that we can communicate on that deeper level. Even if we're logical, we still have emotional needs that need to be met. We still need some affirmation from time to time.
Okay.
And we need to learn to speak the same language at the same time. So it really does deepen your relationship. If you can learn to get on the same level with your mate, speak the same language. Again, when you're in doubt, err on the side of affirmation. Continue to go with saying loving things, saying affirming things, saying things that build them up. And if they are not responding, well, it's perfectly fine to ask for clarification. Babe, what is it you're looking for? Is it affirmation or information? And if you ask that question of your mate, be accepting of that question. Don't say, well, you ought to know. They're really trying hard to communicate with you. So give them what they need. Do you need affirmation? Acknowledge that and let them affirm you. Or if you need information, let them give you that information as well. All right, so those are the main points. Again, we found that these are very powerful tools. Emotion versus logic. Speak the same language. It makes a huge difference in your relationship. We are loverecon.org. We have seminars and coaching. You can look on our website and read blogs on a variety of relationship issues. If you'd like, you can book a free session with a Master Life Coach with Jeannie or Angie or myself or another of our Master Life Coaches. You can also watch helpful sessions like this one, and there are more of these coming. Our phone number is listed there, 866-218-1716, and you can leave a message if we're not there, but we're usually always there. Love Recon and Life Recon seminars will resume soon, so I hope we can see you there. I believe that's it. Thank you for joining us, and we hope that you'll join us again.